let's kick it off.
Dive into what
this
was some
is a spicy episode.
We've grabbed a couple of comments, and look, we didn't share the very negative ones.
Yeah,
because
we've kind of kept
not because
it
we're trying to
like,
avoid them. Like I think you've responded to most of them that were on any of your socials
definitely.
or whatever. But I think we shared some negative. We've got like I think 2 or 3 negative and 2 or 3 positive.
Yeah.
In regards and it's in respect to how did this make people respond when they saw this person who was like, hey, I want to be child-free. And it just happens to be accompanied by a list of 27 million reasons why.
And look again,
and some of those
they were my reasons that I'm deciding not to have children, not saying, hey, these are the reasons why you shouldn't have children. It wasn't like a scare tactic for people and for the people being like, no one cares. Like I literally posted it because people were caring and they were saying we want to see it.
See, I think we've got our own like 1 or 2 specific reasons. The reason why we don't want to have kids, and then these other things are like the symptom, not the symptoms.
They're just the funny, stupid things.
They're the other things.
But they still matter because people think about them.
So, do you want to go first, or would you like? Do
you want to kick it off? Because this one's pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that word. WHEW.
I think it's like whew, like whew.
Okay. Phew, boy. Your generation is just a whole nother level of ultra narcissistic. I mean, the world has never seen your degree of selfishness before. If we're doomed, it's not because of having kids, it's because we've birthed your generation of entitled, narcissistic, blameless brats.
Well, I think that when he said we've birthed, like, isn't that kind of on you?
So I guess this person, and not to name names, but
definitely a boomer.
I can't even pronounce the
definitely a boomer.
Well, I guess that they're saying that they're our parents' age-ish, so they're like between 50 and 100.
Yeah. We've birthed your generation of entitled, narcissistic, blameless
Shame on you for birthing us.
Yeah.
It's not our fault that we're brats and narcissistic
and entitled. But look, also at the same time, this is a whole nother generation of people who take their actual mental health into consideration when they make big decisions.
That's actually I don't know if we want to get into that on this one.
What?
Or is that maybe something we want to get into? People talk about mental, and Are You Okay Day was the other day.
Yeah.
It was 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah.
People talk about caring about other people's mental health, but I don't think a lot of people realize when this topic comes up that people are actually making a decision to protect their mental health, because I think that most people have genuinely explored the idea of having or not having kids in their life. And then when you have someone sit across from you, judge you, criticize you, like diminish your responses or your that
or downplay as well. They downplay your experiences.
Yeah, but they're probably the ones waving the are you okay flag.
Oh, absolutely.
And being like,
the people who write this shit are the people who are like have practice kindness in their bio or like praise Jesus and the Bible, and it's
don't get religious. I mean, it's not religious.
Well, a lot of in my experience, a lot of the time they are religious people. They are the people who talk about
look, definitely religion
perpetuating like kindness and that whole narrative.
Yeah.
It's always those people that scream that the loudest that are the most. Not always. Not always.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I just get passionate and I'm like, it's these people, but it's obviously always not those people.
And by the way, we have nothing against religion.
There are very kind Christian people that I know that are lovely, and there's also some people who are just fucking crazy and just take things too far.
We don't have anything
but that's
against
just people,
really anyone. Again, coming back to that, what we said in that first episode, if it's not hurtful or hateful, like you're cool, whatever, do you. So this is a positive. A little bit more of a positive response. Of course, you're going to read it.
Katie O'Donoghue, honestly, thank you for this post. I love how open, honest, and authentic you have been with your views, as this isn't talked about enough. Having a child is definitely seen through rose-tinted glasses for many, and lots don't know about a lot that can happen to your body, mind, identity, life, relationships, etc., when you make this choice. And if you quite literally don't have your own shit sorted out pre-baby and know exactly where you are health-wise and financially afford another life on top of your own. I've always felt at peace and happy with an amazing fiance and fur baby, with plans of having another dog in the future, if anything, and knowing how our life and how life is and continue to be if we choose to remain this way without a baby. Everyone creates their own unique life and it doesn't have to be in line with the status quo. I am so surprised by the comments here, but just popping a comment to say this was so validating and reaffirming in many ways for me, so thank you for sharing.
That's nice, hey? So obviously, Katie, if that's her real name, obviously she's chosen to live child-free.
Yeah.
Be interesting to know her age. So,
but don't you, like, I find the response back that's really hateful, people saying you have to have children, and the response back for people who don't have kids are so different.
Oh, definitely.
Like one comes from such a hateful view, and then the other one is just like a very...
There's been a lot of comments, a lot of support from parents.
Yeah, but the ones that are like
women,
really
I
aggressive.
haven't heard too much from men. Haven't heard too many guys, and maybe it's because maybe guys just don't engage.
There was a few male comments made saying my wife and I are deciding to be child-free too, and
yeah, cool.
Yeah, there was definitely there was a lot of men commenting on
actually a lot of men
a women's choice.
Yeah.
And they spit the hate, and it's like you don't even have to go through half of these things, so you can't relate. You can't speak to even half of the things on this list.
Why do you fucking care? Whether someone if someone has a child, if someone doesn't have a child, I guarantee they affect your life less than if someone does have a child.
Exactly.
There are more chances of your life being impacted by someone else having a child than there are if that person doesn't have a child. Yet you seem to care so much. Anyway, sorry. So next one, negative. You do a negative one because you love to speak of positive stuff. Let's go the negative one.
Well, do you know what? This is actually a really funny one.
LuxX. Underscore LuxX.
LuxX. Maybe you aren't truly in love with the person that you are with or vice versa.
No.
So apparently you don't love me. But how hypocritical are some of these points on the list, yet you have a dog.
Yeah, we do.
You take care of it and so on. You get the gist of it. I do have Daisy's hair on my nose right now. I can't get out. Having kids and becoming a mum is the most incredible feeling, which sadly you will never get to experience. No one will love you more than your children. And not to mention a woman who goes through pregnancy and the birth is a true warrior. It takes a real woman in capital letters to do that. Firstly, don't fucking compare a child to a dog. It is not the same thing.
That shouldn't actually be the first thing, to be honest. The first thing, honestly.
Well, I'm doing it in chronological order of the actual comment.
Okay.
But also the fact that you say it takes a real woman. Like I'm not a real woman because I'm deciding not to have a child.
I find that to be actually very disrespectful to women and couples who actually struggle and they can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
So that you actually piss off probably a very big group of people who they would love to have a child and maybe they can't for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So are you actually saying that you're not a real woman and it wasn't actually like they desperately want to, can't, but a real woman is actually someone who goes through childbirth? But
then also saying that you will never experience real love as well if you can't do that, which I find is absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion, which we'll dive into.
Yeah, and look, we can't speak for something you haven't experienced, but
exactly.
I think, I don't know, wouldn't it be fair to say it's a different kind of love?
Yeah. It's not, and I feel like people bang on about it being the ultimate kind of love, but it's actually just a different kind of love.
But actually it should be the ultimate kind of love, because if you bring a child into this world, you should want to die for that child. It should be the ultimate. And I would, same feeling towards Daisy. Like someone gets in the way of Daisy, or
she is our baby.
Her. Yeah. But I could imagine that that a feeling would be, I don't know, multiplied.
Yeah.
I guess with a child for sure. All right, so another negative one. Beautygate91. Spell your right, first of all. I'm pretty dyslexic, but I know that's not the right way. You're a disgrace to women that can't, it's directed at you.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace to women that can't struggle to conceive children.
That can't /struggle.
Oh, they can't /struggle to conceive children. How you have a platform to promote this bullshit is insanity. What a shame your parents didn't think the same about having children. This list is bullshit. You will be very lonely. You will be very lonely and an empty soul without a family. This is screaming trauma and attention seeking. Women who would give anything to conceive and struggle with fertility, I apologize that this demon has a platform. You demon.
Well, look, it's not the worst thing that I've been called, but I find that actually very quite entertaining that someone will call me a demon.
Why?
Honestly, it's wild that someone goes, it makes them so infuriated that they have to call me a demon.
That's a trigger. It's like, I get it. If you posted something like, don't have children, these are the reasons why we and you shouldn't have children, I would maybe start to understand why you would respond with something like that. But the fact that you didn't, you said, these are my reasons why I want to remain child-free.
Yeah.
And then followed it up with a huge post.
I just find it so funny that they say that I should have basically been aborted if my parents had this list.
Do you have a problem with that? Like, this is probably going a bit off topic, but do you have a problem with that? If someone says maybe your parents should have, like, I actually think maybe, and look, we're going to cover it a little bit later, the real reasons why. I mean, your dad's not here.
Yeah.
He decided to not be here anymore. Do you think that he would still be here if he didn't have kids? And would you have a problem with that? I mean, you wouldn't be alive to sort of answer that, but is that a bad thing?
Yeah, look, I think sometimes there's so many people who just, especially back then, who had children when they probably shouldn't have. And it's changed the trajectory of their life in a bad way in a lot of ways. Some people some people are made to be parents. Don't get me wrong. Like they are the best parents. They're like that is their purpose, that it fulfills them, it makes them happy.
And they're great at it.
And they're so great at it. But there are so many people who feel the pressure and try to live up to the societal expectations that this is the way I'm supposed to live my life. This is supposed to make me happy. And then they have it. Oh, are you okay? Daisy has a little reverse sneeze, which you probably will hear during this podcast if you're just listening to an audio. She's okay. She's not dying. It's all right. She has cough syrup. It's all good. But back to what I was saying.
But back to me.
What was I talking about? My ADHD brain is going wild.
Well, we're on the negative lady beauty gate.
Look, some people are made to have kids. Other people, not so much, but they are so pressured into it that they're like, this is the way that I should live my life. They have them and then they come to regret having kids. And honestly, I've seen this within my family, which I'll touch on later, but so many people become slaves to their children. My parents were slaves to us kids.
Well, I do. I mean, again, probably getting into something we're going to go into after this. But one of the reasons, and I think one of the contributing factors to the reason why your dad decided to choose what he did to do was he had these children. And I think that tore him apart with the circumstances that went on.
Yeah.
And maybe if he didn't have children, like
it might have been easier to walk away.
Yeah, he might have been able to deal with whatever happened. And maybe he would have been able to like, oh, okay, that's fine. But I don't know. You can't comment obviously because it's. Well,
it's so different, but you can speculate.
I want to do a positive one.
Yeah, okay, we'll go.
Oh, this one's fucking huge. Here we go. Mackenzie Page _89. Oh, a couple of years younger than me. I'm intrigued at the fact that so many mums have felt the need to either state that us child-free women will never experience real love or we will clearly not be worthy enough to be mothers. It's a list that's...
Wait, hang on.
It's a list.
Let's just pause this here. Tell these batch.
Oh no, I think we're fine. There's some action going around in the studio at the moment.
There's some very loud, crazy ladies. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's very loud in here.
You totally interrupted me, though.
I'm sorry. I just thought like that's all you're going to hear because it's so close.
Maybe we just raise our voice, talk deeper into the microphone, and drown out
like the way
crazy.
That captains do. Captains speak. They're like. They basically put the microphone in there.
We are coming into Brisbane for landing.
Back to our regular scheduled programming.
Sorry,
anyway.
Mackenzie Page _89. I'm intrigued at the fact that so many mums have felt the need to either state that us child-free women will never experience real love or that we are clearly not worthy enough to be mothers. It's a list. It's satirical. It's an opinion. To be honest, it's refreshing because everyone seems so constantly intent on questioning our choice to remain child-free. For some reason, it's not even a choice. I love that some mothers have been able to be honest enough to admit to relating to this list, at least in part. Kudos to you ladies. We all know that the fiery comments are coming from women who can't admit that they do feel that way deep down. Nothing breeds anger more than the things that you're mad at about yourself. So thanks for you having the courage to be real. If I were a mother, I'd hope to be like you all. Your authenticity will foster the kinds of kids we need in this world. Yours sincerely, a woman who tried to have kids for many years through IVF, found out she was infertile, and has now found joy in her nieces, nephews, friends' kids, etc., and who is happier than ever with the way things turned out. Please don't hate on me for finding my joy in the way things panned out for me. I don't deny your joy for your decisions in life. The polar opposite of
that I'm the demon.
The polar opposite of the first one, of the blameless brats.
I feel like she summed that up so well, and I just want to say to Mackenzie Page, thank you for sharing that.
Mackenzie Page _
like I know it's a big paragraph for you to write on social media, and like a lot of thought has gone into that. But thank you so much. Like we appreciate you,
but also
sharing your point of view and so candidly.
She shared part of her journey. I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like if you did want to have kids and you couldn't, and you explored those things and it didn't work out. Like that would actually be really fucking tough.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that I've had a lot of people attack me for that online, saying, this is so insulting to people who are going through IVF.
But you're not taking that away from anyone.
Yeah.
So why should you be attacked?
I feel like,
don't understand that.
But I also feel like a lot of people who are going through IVF have said, this has actually made me feel so much better about my decision, because there are people out there who are choosing this life. Like while I haven't chosen it, there are people choosing it and they're happy. They're okay. Like their life is wonderful. They've got peace and happiness, and, I can have that for myself, where it's on the other side, it's like very kind of doom and gloom. You're not going to experience like unconditional love, blah, 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 like all that stuff. Like your life's over if you can't have kids, that narrative. A lot of people spill to people.
That was summed up really nicely.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to In Real Life. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love for you to subscribe on Spotify and connect with us on Instagram at IRL with us. And remember, life isn't about meeting other people's expectations. It's about living it on your terms and meeting your own expectations. So go out there and live in real life. We'll see you next time.